Welcome back here to Stavanger, Norway, where we have the live stream of the Nordic Championships. It's Denmark versus Sweden now, the female match, and it'll be exciting to see how it goes. I'm commentating live here, Elisabeth Ose, along with my commentating buddy, Daryl Tien.
So we're getting set for the next match between Swedish and Danish women. We have to favor Sweden if for no other reason that Denmark has a team with fewer players. They have how many in the water?
They seem to only have 2 people on the bench, while the Swedish have a full bench plus 3 extra players.
So in terms of energy, that's not positive. So what do you do in this situation? The Danes need to put a goal up and kill off the time.
They need to play it safe, play it smart, conserve energy, and really outswim the Swedish if they want to get away from all the fighting.
Oh, it's going to start any second now. There we go.
And they're on the ball at the same time. But it seems like it's the Swedish possession of the ball mainly, with the Danish player on top.
Well, it's a scrum beneath the surface here, getting pushed in the direction of the Danish basket, but not very far. Ripped away now.
I think the Danish have to not get in those fights. It'll save them a lot of energy.
Yeah, they can't afford to be in a lot of scrums. They'll get tired out. So, but the Danes are experienced. There's Marianne Heidem hovering above there, number 11, and she's a very good point player. She knows how to control the pace of the game. And then I think they have Pernille Lennart. She's a very good goal scorer. Yeah, Jensen. She's wearing number 2.
Yeah, you can see it's not a given game at the moment. It's anyone's game, to be honest. And it seems like the Danes are quicker to the ball than the Swedish.
Yeah, for sure. Nobody's scored yet, so we'll find out if it's any tendency in possession. Is it Persson? They keep the ball on the bottom, which is good for Sweden. Hit hard here.
Good forechecking by the Danish attacker.
Number 10, who is that?
Johanna Press.
Yeah.
But I think the Danish are a quicker team. Maybe they have a faster pace than the Swedish, but the Swedish are stronger and they have more energy to use.
Yeah, Marianne Heidem is one-on-one extremely tough player, so she can deal with any international player. She has that. After that, they've been playing a lot together, the Danish women, so they're a team.
Yeah, they know each other, and I think they have the ability to trust each other if they've played a lot together.
Yeah, definitely. So they go to the surface, the Swedes, and they swim down, and tied up again. So not very good by Sweden here. Stop, start. And the ball's going to come out. Who's going to get it?
It's a Swedish player, but the Danes are quick on getting it out, and she has the ball, number 5. And they're over, almost. Stopped by a whirl of Swedish players, but still fighting their way through.
Yeah, that's good for Sweden. They've had group forechecking, and they've been able to tie up the Danes wherever they've been. But both teams have been moving the ball around. But now there's a chance for...
The Swedish girl has the basket, but she leaves it now as the Danish player has the ball.
Yeah, of course, if you're on the basket, you're not able to change the play very much unless someone can get to you.
Yeah, you're really relying on your teammates to get that ball to you if you take the basket.
Or put it in directly. It's probably better. But it's tied up here with Denmark defending their basket and Sweden making a pass around the goal. This is the first good attack maybe, but the pass goes over.
It's stopped by a Danish back. She has the basket, she's comfortable, she's there.
This is the first time that Sweden's put together a longer attack on the goal, and they're going to start with a new wave here coming in.
It's another wave now, trying to get the ball. They pass it over already from the beginning, luring out the back, and it's a good chance for Sweden here.
Yeah, she's got the head side of the goalie pushing and then snatched away, but they take it back again. And they have a better position. The ball drops down to the bottom.
Nobody seems to notice, but the Danes are first to it, and
Ellen Strand tackled her, but she pulled back a little bit. Maybe she's afraid she hit her in the head, and she had to stop. Oh, now it's an attack.
Oh, now it's a great chance for Sweden here. The Sweden girl on the basket. If they can get the ball to her, it's a goal.
Oh, they didn't. They couldn't do it. Good defense by Denmark, because that was a sure thing. If they could have just got the ball to her, she was on the basket.
The Danes seem to have control over their own basket, and the referee call ball over the surface, and it's a blue free throw. This is good in favor of the Danes. I think it's a blue timeout. The Danes trying to take a timeout here, but I don't think the referee is noticing. Yeah, he noticed. It's a blue timeout now.
I think this has been positive for Denmark so far. No score, and if they can hold Sweden off like this, their energy level will correspondingly stay at that level, I think. But if they let in a goal, it'll be tough.
No, they've had a great match so far. It's only been 6 minutes, 5.5, but they've been doing a great job keeping them away. They're using this time to breathe, really gather themselves. If they can get a goal in now, they can just lay there in the defense, trying to stop any dangerous Sweden attacks.
So 22 seconds left here on the clock. And what would you be telling the Swedish team if you were the coach now?
To take advantage of the fact that you're more players, so you have more energy. Maybe try to outswim them. More players in on the baskets. You have 2 or 3 dangerous situations, and they all happen when there's 2 or more players in on the basket.
So they need to not go in one at a time. They need to come in 2 or 3 at a time. And they don't seem to be that much faster than the Danes, in at least when they... neither team has some sort of distinct speed advantage here that we've been able to see.
I think the Danes might have the overall speed a little higher than the Swedes, but they make up for it, the Swedes, by having more energy. The Danes get tired quicker, so it can be hard to keep that speed throughout the game.
Oh. Scrum's is it a scrum or where's the ball?
It's in the surface, but it's given to a Dane who tries to get it over to the other side, but I think she's being held by a Swedish player.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. Denmark on the move. She pushes off the wall. It comes in.
This is a extremely great chance for Denmark here, but there are not enough players. Her teammates are missing. She can't do this alone.
Well, I don't know if it was a great chance. It was. They could have made something out of it, But now are they going to hold on to the ball and make a second wave? No.
No, they lost it to the Swedish.
So, and can the Swedes move across the pool? They're tied up.
The Danes are again the first to the ball, getting it through, but she's being dragged. She's being held.
I was holding her.
But it's a white free throw.
Okay, so that one went against Denmark.
You can't always see what the judge sees.
No, and if a ball goes down to the bottom or there's a pass and there's the other team is not there, that could be the explanation. That it was holding.
So now this is an advantage for the Swedish. If they can utilize the extra energy they have as an advantage over the Danes, this could be a chance.
I don't understand, why did the Swedish players throw the ball down to the bottom?
I think they went for a blind. Oh, no, they change it. It's a blue free throw.
Uh-huh. So that's what we thought originally, that it was. Yeah. So the referees have corrected themselves? Is that what happened? Yeah.
I think the referee, they talked together, explained, and changed the direction of the free throw. The
deck referee didn't understand which team had won that free throw.
I don't think it was maybe a delay in the communication of the referees.
So what can Denmark do with this ball? Right now they're tied up.
If they get it through, they can. They get it. You're getting it. They get through 2-on-2, I think.
Yeah. That's very good by. Was it? Johanna Press Weber, I think she took it in. Is she 11? And the ball drops down, picked up by a Dane. She has a pass. They keep it down.
If there had been more Danish players in around the basket, that could have been a chance for them.
Man Heidam takes it up to the surface. Here's their strategy to rest a little bit, let people get ready to make the dive and go in a wave. But they get tied up in a scrum instead. And that's not good for Denmark, because although she's very strong, she'll just get tired from that. And Sweden comes up with the ball now.
Sweden has the ball, but it's being met by multiple Danes in the forechecking. It's great of them to keep this level of forechecking up, even though there are only a few players.
They're 8 altogether, right? Yep. They have 2 on the bench, so that's 8. 6 plus 2 is 8.
Yeah, that's not a lot of players when it's such a big event.
Now it's a good attack. 2-on-2.
It's a good chance, but she is being held by the Dane attacker. But now they have regained. Oh, but it's a bad throw back, and the Danes now have the ball.
Oh, counter in the middle of the pool here. Before checking, tackled.
And the Swedes again have the ball, and it's a quick attack, and it's an open basket.
Who was that who scored that? Yes, it could be from Malmö.
Yeah, that was an excellent counter attack on an open basket.
And she had speed there.
She had the speed she needed. The Danes couldn't keep up.
Yeah, Linda Carlson, she played on the national team for Sweden in Cali as maybe the youngest player of the women's team at that time.
Yeah, you can see I think the key to this match might be for the Swedes be patience. If they if they're patient, they can outweight the Danes.
Yeah, there are less than 5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, it's a closer match than what we've seen before.
But looking at this, I don't see these two teams beating Norway. It will be interesting to see what happens against Finland.
I think the Swedes have a great opportunity here in these championships. They are strong players, and they seem to know each other.
Oh, and they've got the bottom. Oh, they float up.
The Swedish are still in the possession of the ball, and it falls down. She passes it to a teammate, but she doesn't see the last teammate on the ready for the ball, and the Danes gain the possession.
But yeah, this match is close. Denmark, what do you think? Can Denmark score?
I think they can if they again are patient. They get over, then gain some of their energy, maybe playing in the corner.
I think it's Lisa Blanert coming in. She's strong. She's under. She got a position, but she's dragged up.
And it's another goal.
There. So that effort by Teresa Blanart, she delivered it. We didn't see who the player was, but she did the work, and the other player capitalized on it.
I think it might have been. I'm not sure. I can't seem to see the player.
A team effort, anyway.
Yeah, it's a good team effort. She pulls the ball in, gets the back and attacker on her, and then gets it back to the Swedish.
So Denmark needs to find some kind of answer because they're down 2-0 now. And they have an attack.
We've seen the Danes counter 2-0 earlier today on the male side.
Can be done.
It can be done. Oh, there's an opportunity here if she gets the balls down.
Yeah, we've got players above and below the basket. But they're drifting up now, and they no longer control the situation.
Oh, she was being held by a Swedish player, and now the Swedish are in the possession of the ball, working their way to the other side, with the Danes doing their best to forecheck them.
Yeah. Oh, Sweden on the left side, away from the exchange. And now there's an attack.
She goes in 1-on-3.
She stays down at the bottom, though, to protect the ball into the corner.
It keeps being the Swedish possession. They have a chance here if they can get it and utilize it.
Oh, Blenart again. She's looking for someone to pass it to.
But the Danes gain the possession, and it's an attack now.
I didn't see close forechecking. The Swedes had cut off all the passes. Denmark had a chance to move in before. Now they're coming in one at a time won't work.
The Swedes have too much energy. She's trying to. You see the. Yes. She's trying to exchange with the goalie.
You can steal the goal like this here, but she gives up on that now.
The ball is too far away, and it's in Swedish possession.
Yeah. Time's ticking here.
30 seconds on the clock now, and it's in the Danes' possession.
Nice. Oh,
It's another attack. Can they
she's
use
very
this to
high
their...
down to the
Oh,
goal.
and it's a goal. Is that number 11?
Marion Heidem, I think it was.
Yeah, Marion Heidem. Great goal. Keeping her position for a long time, waiting for her teammates.
I think she's a player or a coach. So 7 seconds left. So this swim out doesn't really have any meaning.
Oh, it's a great counter move from Denmark. And if they can do that once more, it's tied. And that's the end of the first half.
All right, we'll take a break. Be back with you in 5 minutes.
Testing, testing. Okay, we're back after halftime, and the score is 2-1 to Sweden, with 12 players in this game, while the Danes only have 8, and we're off. The Danes are attacking good, but the Swedes have the possession of the ball. She's able to swim through, and she has a lot of bottom time right now. The Swedes are through, but the Danish back stopped them. Now it's an attack on the Danish basket, and it's a dangerous situation, and she is able to put it in the basket. It's a goal. Wasn't able to see who it was, but it was just a goal right now.
All right. So Sweden's made it 3-1 now, and it was less than a minute into the.
I think it was her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leonard.
Yeah. An amazing goal. She works on the head of the goalie and manages to push her off.
That's very good for Sweden that Tess Blenart is engaged in the game, because she's very talented. She's been the captain of the Swedish women's national team before, but she also competes in weightlifting, and well, if she's concentrating on rugby more, she'll be quite effective.
Yeah, you can tell that she's strong by the way she pulls the goalie up from the goal.
Yeah. Staying down on the bottom here.
Danish defense is in place, but can the Swedish get through it?
I got it over and back down again. Good. Now coming out. Only one player in the wave. That's not enough.
You need 2 or more players to really get that effective wave going.
I think the concern has to be, if you're the coach and you're looking at that, you say, why weren't the other players going in? Oh, stolen the basket now. The Swedes have stolen the basket. She's got to come in from above.
But the Danes avert the danger. They managed to get free possession of the ball and the basket.
I think you put that just right. They averted the danger.
It was a great opportunity for Sweden, but it was stopped. And now there's a it's a goal for Sweden.
Oh, well, I missed that entirely.
It's number 5. Is it number 5? Is it Vilma?
Yeah, that's actually, it's my daughter.
Well, congratulations.
Well, thank you. But I try to keep. I don't think of. I try to stay neutral. Yeah, just like you. I'm following your example.
Yeah, but it was a great attack. We couldn't even see it because they weren't quick enough to change the screen. But she must have swum through the whole pool and got that ball in the basket.
It's hard to work as a camera, the producing up at the desk, switching back and forth between the video. You have to concentrate all the time, and we don't have a lot of staff here. It's not as if you have 3 or 4 different people taking a break, getting a waffle and coffee and stuff like that. They're just here working and working and working.
Yeah, and it's a great effort, and we're really lucky to have them here today.
So I took your professional advice and went and got a waffle, and it makes a difference. I mean, just to get some sugar. Because remember, we're in a humid atmosphere here. This is not bad for a swimming pool, though. It's pretty
No, it's pretty good air in here. It's pretty good quality of the water as well. You can see everything still, and it's been 4 games.
Yeah, and Marianne Heidam's holding on to the ball. She's tough. She held off the player, and then she came back again.
Yeah, they're holding the ball, waiting for the right time to strike. They don't have enough people in right now. There's only one person, and it's being... Oh.
Well, this is good for the Swedish women's team, that they come in against an opponent who's not full strength. They can have a good warm-up game, and they win and go on to meet the tougher competition.
I think the Danes are tired. They held up better in the first half. But again, there are only 8 people, and it's difficult to have energy throughout the whole game when you're just 8.
And I'm wondering why the Danish women's national team didn't include Kajsa Pil and Cecilia Seifert. They could have played. All right, they don't have as much experience, but if you're only 8 players, you could say, okay, we'll keep them in reserve. If we're losing or winning, we can put them in if they lack experience, so they don't feel like they're responsible. Oh, another goal here. Number 10. Who was that?
It was a blue free throw, I think, before the goal happened.
And
10 is Karolina, I think.
who was it? Orman, or
Yeah, Karolina Orman.
yeah, she's a really good player.
Yeah, but
In Graz, she was steady. She's always putting on a good attack and a team leader type, by example, doing the right stuff.
and it's a blue free throw, and they have a chance here to do something, but it's being countered by the Swedish, and the Swedish are in the possession.
Orman again.
Great player. You can see her. She has the control of the ball.
And the fake pass is routine for her. Are you good at that? You don't get to play with the small ball all the time, do you?
No, I don't have. I don't think I have big enough hands to actually hold the big ball.
No. So most of your practices are with the big ball.
Yeah, I play with the men's senior teams in Egersund.
Okay, so you need to go to the pool with the small ball and just swim and hold it and move it around your hand. So it's easy for other people to tell you what to do, but it's a shame that you don't have a chance to practice with the small ball more.
Oh, we practice with it on the junior practice,
Yeah.
but it's different because it's not a lot. It's not that high. Oh,
That was a careless pass, and
Danish girl got it just barely.
yeah.
But that's a dangerous situation for the Danes, and they should avoid that at all costs.
Yes, coming out of the zone, it's tempting to try to pass to somebody, but you can't always see the people who are lurking and just want to get their hand on the ball.
Sometimes it's better to just either dive up to the surface or try to dive down to the bottom.
Yes.
You see here, this is a chance for the Swedish, but the Danes are quite effectively holding them away.
And got it. They got the ball. Marianne Heidam, she makes a nice pass. Now they're on their way. They just caught her feet. He rips. Nice playing. Was that Jensen? Number 5. I think it was number. Yes.
But now the Danes are again in, but she's 1-on-4, I think. Oh, and it's a goal.
It's Marianne Heidam again.
Yeah, it's number 11 again.
So she's.
Oh, but it's
No.
it's not. It's a white free throw for holding off the head. It's
Okay.
not a goal.
We don't have a replay here for you, but you're not allowed to grab the goalie's head. But really, that happens a lot. It's not uncommon. So the referee must have thought that it was excessive because they'll often let it go if you reach from behind and grab the back of the head.
Yeah, but that was not a goal, unfortunately. Oh, and it's close, but the Danes are, and it's a goal.
It's Caroline Ullman again. She stole the basket. I think Teresa Blenner was above and managed to pass it down, or she got it to another teammate who passed it down. Timeout called by Denmark.
Yeah, I think they need to collect their thoughts and try to calm their nerves because they played better in the first half, I believe.
Well, likely they're tired.
Yeah, they have 8 players. Yeah. It's difficult to not be tired at this point. So what would you say to encourage the Danish at this point?
Well, I think it's interesting that they only come with 8 players, and it says something about the situation for rugby on the women's side in Denmark, because the Danish men have a rather large number of players. You can't just get on the national team if you're a guy. For the women, they're now down to a critical level, so they need to recruit. And I think the same thing is true in Finland. The men didn't come here, and you can look for any kind of simple explanation, but the underlying reason is there are not enough players. Because if you had more players, then the young guys would say, I want to go, and then someone would say, well, I'll coach you. But they don't have a team here, which is a disappointment.
We're off again, and the Danes are in the possession of the ball. It's 5-1 to Sweden, and they again have the possession of the ball.
Well, one thing is certain, that although I would favor Norway the women to win this, at least Sweden has shown that they can score. So it's not a given that you can shut out the other team here. The players are aggressive.
Some Swedes have gone in 1-on-3 and still being able to make a real danger, and I think that can be an important factor in the coming games against Norway.
Yeah. So Teresa Blenner's having a good game, and Karo Orman.
And this is a chance for the Danish, but she's locked up by 2 Swedish players right now.
Yeah, Antonio Hjelm brought her up. Oh, now they're coming in from good. Was there shoulder in the basket there?
It seemed like it was quite a lot of shoulder in the basket there, to be honest.
Yes. They should have got a penalty shot. Or maybe they should have got...
It's difficult to see for us as we see it from a different angle than the judges.
Another attack here.
It was 2-on-1, but the Danes just got there in time. Now it's 2-on-2. She passes the ball down to her teammate, and she's working her way above.
Yeah, they're breaking up the Danish defense, and this could be an opportunity for Sweden to score again. Now they've got 3 down on the goalie. The goalie's isolated, no back, and the forwards are not there, but they managed to hold off so far.
It's excellent work by the goalie there. There was 3-on-1, but now it's a great chance for Sweden here. It's extremely dangerous.
Lennart coming in from above. She's got the goalie's head up. She's trying to pass.
The goalie got the grip of the ball.
Yeah. You could wonder if that should be attack on the head, but it wasn't harming the player. So yeah. So Sweden missed their chance there.
Yeah, it was 2 or 3 great chances at once. Oh, and this is a dangerous opportunity for the Danish, but it's being prevented by 2 Swedish players.
I think it was Johan Press Vegerberg. She had it, came in. swimming strongly and
Really showing her speed.
but by herself.
The other teammates couldn't keep up.
You know,
They're tired.
all right, up to the corner. That's tough there because they want to go into the corner and develop some kind of possession, but the Swedish players are just watching them now, and they're going to swoop with the first pass. So they're actually not getting any rest. They're getting some rest, but it's not really helping.
Oh, and if they can't put together a decent attack, it's difficult to get through.
Yeah, and they've lost the ball now. So
The Swedes have been quite effective stopping the Danish attacks.
so that was forechecking with more than one player, and it was quite coordinated. So that's good for Sweden, but it will be a different story against Norway. I think it'll be harder to do. They won't be able to do stuff like that so easily.
I think the forechecking has to vary from what games you're playing. If you're playing against a slower team, it's better to have more. But maybe if you're playing against a quicker team, it's better to just go to the basket at once. And now the Swedes are over on. But she loses the ball, but she gets it down to her teammate, number 2, Kajsa Lilja, and it's this goal.
Kajsa Lilja is also super fit. She's working out on, I don't know if it's Instagram or Facebook, whatever, doing training with Christopher Suarez, and she's fit. You could see that. She had a lot of energy when she came in there. Is this inspiring you to do more conditioning or your strength? What are you concentrating on?
As of right now, I'm concentrating on my leg strength, trying to become quicker to match with the pace of the Norwegian playing style.
So you're working out with deadlifting and swimming, or?
Yeah, quite a lot of deadlifting, actually.
Here comes Sweden again.
It's 2-on-2, and she's digging in the back.
Nice. They got the ball and came out. Oh, they lose it. This is fatigue. They're just too tired.
They can't put that extra run in now. They're too tired. There's only 2 minutes left. I don't think it'll change the outcome.
Now she made a good effort there, but the defense is a little bit broken down now. Let's see if it will be another.
Oh, it seems to be a penalty, maybe. Yeah, it's a penalty.
Penalty shot. So when Antonia Hjelm went in and was attacking, it must have been shoulder in the basket. No.
So it's interesting who's going to take this penalty.
They have a lot of players. I mean, Kara Orman or Teresa Blenart. They have a lot of players who can do it. And actually, Antonia Hjelm, the player who created that situation, they could let her do it. But she might be a little tired after she made that big effort. Is there a timeout here? No.
Just getting ready. And who's...
Can you see what number it is for Sweden?
It's can't see what number it is, but it's...
Who's taking it for Denmark?
It's Sofie Vedel Nielsen.
12.
Or is it 12? Yeah, it's number 12. Laura Sofie Jørgensen. Number 5.
Yeah, so that was Wilma Tien who scored that. So I can't. People say I'm really phony if I just pretend that I don't know. It's my daughter scored it. We should be professional. Actually, this is actually interesting that you can have a referee who's working at the competition and his son is playing.
Yeah.
And we just don't have enough people involved in the sport so that we could have it completely neutral. So we try, for example, that the referees, when it comes to the final matches, they say, okay, well, you shouldn't ref your country's match. In reality, I'm not even sure that really works that well. It can be a problem, but sometimes there are referees who go against their own club or nation because they want to be fair, so they go a little bit too far the other direction.
Yeah, that is a problem, but I think it's, yeah, it can be a problem, yes. But I think it's good. We have good judges, and I think they know the difference between fair and them leaning towards another nation.
So there are a lot of families in the sport because it's small, and we can even see like the kids playing today. Oh, another attack by Sweden.
It's 3-on-1. This is a great opportunity for Sweden, and it's a goal.
Another goal.
Number 14.
14 is at Ellen Strand. She's 14 is a former.
Oh, yeah,
Was
it might
14?
be. It looked like it,
Okay.
but I'm not sure. Yeah, it's Ellen Strand.
Okay. Yeah, she's a former swimmer, so she's got speed.
She had a lot of bottom time there, laying on the basket trying to keep it. Eventually paid off in a goal.
Oh, yeah, one other thing we should mention about Nordic championships and national teams is that it's much easier for a country like Denmark to play together because the country's smaller and they don't have to travel such long distances to compete. But for Sweden, it's a challenge because the country is pretty large, comparatively speaking. Norway?
It's pretty long.
Yeah.
It's long, so it's difficult. And that's the end of the game, and it's 8-1 to Sweden.
So it's hard to meet everybody. You're divided up into to different districts. Yeah.
We make it work. It's a lot of, you can do driving. It takes a lot of time, but it's worth it.
And what is the club to the farthest to the north in Norway? Nobody's playing in Svalbard.
No, I don't think so. Maybe Bodø, which is almost with Lofoten.
Okay, so that they can go hiking all the time. All right, here we are. Time for the anthem.